Just had an email from a guy who's using the levels, and he was saying that we should see a bounce on the GBPUSD, the pound US, followed by a bias back to the short side. And as you can see last week, if we look at the levels for last week, we have, it just went straight down to 3A and accumulated back down to 2B, or GM2B, and then it went all the way back to 0, so that's a nice topping formation, and then accumulated, and then down to 2B, and then to 3B. So we got to the end of wave 3, and almost to 5A, and as you can see what just happened, then he was saying if the GBPUSD hits GM4A this week and heads short, we can be pretty sure the big boys have filled the stops. The manipulation is over, and it has returned back to the original trend. And if you look here, the news just hit an hour or so ago, and we've got accumulation here. Well, first of all, it came up to 2B, then way back down to the 100. So we had a similar thing last week, but and then it's come all the way back up to 2B, and on the news it just pinned the GM4A, which he was saying if it hits that, and then it's just plummeted all the way down to 3A. So I'd be expecting, I'm looking for a trade because I missed this. I just saw this, I saw it hit GM4A and thought I'm going to wait for a pullback, but it didn't happen. So this is really a very weak market, and I'm going to look for a pullback maybe to the 50, and then a trade down to at least, I'd say GM4A at least for now. And you can see, because I've been looking at the pound Japanese, it's kind of my favorite market right now, and I was looking for a trade at the 100 3A yesterday. I did get in, and I was up like 20 pips or something, and got out because it was just not there was no real volume at the end of the day. But I would have loved to take this trade up, and it hit 2B, GM2B. What's this one here? Let's just get rid of that. Yeah, it pinned GM2B, and I was expecting it to go at least to GM4A and to the high of last week, but now I'm thinking that this trend is reversed. So I'll be looking for another trade, a pullback, maybe to the 100. But yeah, I missed this trade. I keep getting up too late. But that was a lovely trade. So you can see you've got accumulation, manipulation to the high, and then you've got your profit release. So now we can look for get in on the second leg, and you should at least go to 2B below the 0 here. But I just wanted to thank Andrew for that email, and it's pretty fascinating that I just think it's fascinating how these levels will really integrate to any style of trading. Like you'll use your triggers at these levels to take the trade. I've started to use the TDI. It's just something Steve Marrow uses, but I've noticed that this yellow baseline, it's a dynamic baseline of the meant to be based on the RSI, which I never use because I don't really like indicators because they lag. But when I notice, what I've noticed is when it gets to an end of a wave, the TDI is usually at the overbought, in this case overbought area, and then it'll either come back down to the 50 again, or it'll go through the 50 to the other side, to the oversold. This is what it looks like to me, that this will keep continuing through, and that's where I'll look to get out. But I'll explain more. I'm just still learning how to use the TDI properly.